Every day, quantum physics shows us that everything is possible. And in today's video, we are deciphering Chapter 17 in The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard, and it's called All Things Are Possible. It is of great significance that the truth of the principles outlined in this book have been proven time and time again by the author. Throughout the past 25 years, he has applied these principles and proved them successful in innumerable instances. He attributes to an unwavering assumption of his wish already being fulfilled every success that he has achieved. Neville Goddard is actually all the time telling you, sleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, walk as though it is true, walk as if it is already done, because he knows the truth. He was way ahead of his time. He was way ahead of his time because he knew the truth. Right now we know that we have two brain mode perceptions. The left brain perception, the right brain perception. The left brain perception is linear time, like we have to make sense of the world. So sometimes we need to know the past, the present, the future. To the right brain perspective, everything, and I mean everything, is here and now. You work on multi-dimensional level. You are everywhere and there is no time. Everything is the actual present moment, the generous present moment. Because this is actually like, sometimes you can't wrap your head around it, but this is the truth. This is why in sciences like biogeometry, which I actually want to make videos on, we talk about how to the right brain perspective, the past, present, future, they're all now, all possibilities exist. And you can actually match the frequency of the thing that you want, and it will happen. This is how the law of assumption works. When you assume things into being, and you become the vibrational match of it, you will experience it in the 3D hologram we live in. He was confident that by these fixed assumptions, his desires were predestined to be fulfilled. Time and time again, he assumed the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and continued in his assumption until that which he desired was completely realized. He was in perseverance to actually get what he wants. He lived as if it's already a fact until the reality or the 3D hologram catched up to his inner world, to his inner imagination, to his inner imaginal act. Live your life in a spirit of confidence and determination. Disregard appearances, conditions, in fact, all evidence of your senses that deny the fulfillment of your desire. Live as though all you want to be experienced in the 3D world is actually a fact. Rest in the assumption that you are already what you want to be. For in that determined assumption, you and your future being are merged in creative unity. And with your infinite being, God, all things are possible. Because remember, Bashar told us about that. You know Bashar, Daryl Anka, channeling Bashar? He always talks about the one is the all and the all are the one. We are aspects of God because we all came from the same factory. We can say that. So we all came from one thing, from wholeness, from one divine energy. There is only one consciousness expressing itself in different forms. So when you assume things to being, like when you assume things that they are being a fact here in this 3D hologram, like you assume something in your imagination and then you are convinced that it is actually here. You're not trying to doubt it. You are convinced it is here. You are shifting in the multiverse to a parallel reality, which that reality is already here, already existing somewhere else. So you are just matching it with your frequency. When you assume the feeling of it, the acceptance of the fact that it's already done, it's already yours, then you will experience it in this life. Because remember, we've been programmed that you've got to see it to believe it, when in reality, you've got to believe it to see it. Through the mastery of your assumptions, you are, in very truth, enabled to master life. It is thus that the ladder of life is ascended. Thus, the ideal is realized. The clue to the real purpose of life is to surrender yourself to your ideal with such awareness of its reality that you begin to live the life of the ideal and no longer your own life as it was prior to this surrender. So actually you are changing your concept of yourself. You are changing who you are. So when you impress your subconscious mind, for example, with being a millionaire before you go to bed, or you actually like counting down $100 bills to sleep, like you are counting down $100,000 in cash, you're actually now impressing the subconscious mind with a new concept of yourself. Your inner dialogue will change. You will talk to yourself differently. Like your internal dialogue will change. The conversations with your parents, with your maybe your coworkers, your friends, all that will change because you are changing yourself in the multiverse. You are changing your conception of yourself to become more of a match of that thing. So you want to become that match of it. So when you get that money, for example, you know how to use it, because many times you see people winning the lottery and then become broke after many years. Why? Because they didn't change their concept of themselves. They are manifesting in vain. Now you have the opportunity to change your conception of yourself. This is why Neville's teachings are so important, because he is changing the conception of yourself. So you are actually getting what you want, and at the same time, you are not losing it. You are intertwined with it. When you are intertwined with it, you cannot be segregated from it. You are intertwined with that thing forever. And you can change it once you change your conception of yourself. So if you are broke right now, or you want a new job, you want a new relationship, sleep in the assumption that you already have it. How you're going to do it is actually conjure up the feeling of having it. Maybe gratitude will help. Like gratitude is the most common feeling of all these desires. So when you feel gratitude before you go to bed, you're actually impressing the subconscious mind with that idea. So it's much easier to be in a state of gratefulness and acceptance that it's already done. Just know what you want, keep a picture in your head, and you can actually like hear people congratulating you for your success, and sleep in the assumption that you already achieved what you want. And you will wake up and your conception of yourself will change. Sometimes you will face some difficulties, sometimes, but they are necessary to make yourself like overcome them, and you become that new person that can deal with all the problems that arise from having such and such, or having a business, a multi-million-dollar business. So you are aware of these problems and how to actually overcome them. So don't be afraid when you assume something and actually find problems in your life. Because remember, these are like weight training. They are making the muscle of your mind bigger, per se. So we can say that when you face a problem, it is to your own benefit. Because once you actually impress the subconscious mind, it's inevitable. You will get that. But right now you are changing the concept of yourself. So when you get your manifestation, you actually stay with it. Like you don't lose that money, you don't lose that girlfriend or boyfriend, you don't lose that business. You stay with it and you actually make it better. He calleth things that are not seen as though they were, and the unseen becomes seen. Each assumption has its corresponding world. If you are truly observant, you will notice the power of your assumptions to change circumstances which appear wholly immutable. You, by your conscious assumptions, determine the nature of the world in which you live. Ignore the present state and assume the wish fulfilled. Claim it. It will respond. The law of assumption is the means by which the fulfillment of your desires may be realized. Every moment of your life, consciously or unconsciously, you are assuming a feeling. This is why when you go to work and you actually meet someone that is not so good with you, you start to make inner dialogues about that person in a very negative way. But if you change that to a more fun way, you will actually start to realize that it was all within you. Like the universe is you pushed out. And all of a sudden that coworker will start to be more friendly, more cooperative. You will start to have fun and things will change. It's all coming within you. So change yourself, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and the outer world will have no choice but to reflect that back to you. You can no more avoid assuming a feeling than you can avoid eating and drinking. All you can do is control the nature of your assumptions. This is true. Control your assumptions. It's inevitable that what you assume to be true and what you consent to be true, you will experience in your life. Thus, it is clearly seen that the control of your assumption is the key you now hold to an ever-expanding happier, more noble life. As I told you guys, when you assume things to be the way you want them to be and you live as though it was true, the outer world will reflect that back to you. So everything is possible. All you have to do is believe that it is so, and you will experience it in this 3D hologram. Alright guys, so that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe to the channel, like to reach more people, comment down below in the comments. What do you want to see next? Check the ebook, The Hidden Master of Your Life. It's now available. Get your copy now. It will help you. It got all the techniques and all the scientific evidence of manifestation. And until next time, I'll see you soon.